Change is inevitable. Sometimes we're able to condition our minds to what we are to expect, but what about the other times when it hits us unexpectedly? Jamaicans are resilient people who always bounce back from life's obstacles. Though rebuilding will take time, let us all continue to play our part in ensuring that we get back to where we once were, or even better. Support the official government platform to coordinate relief, mobilize support, and manage recovery efforts for those affected by Hurricane Melissa. I'm Jabertha Atkinson, and you're tuned in to Jamaica Magazine. We'll be right back. A new protocol for toll road access is now in effect following the resumption of normal tolling operations after Hurricane Melissa. For free toll access, all ministries, departments, agencies, NGOs, charitable entities, private individuals, and international partners engaged in relief work must submit a written request to the Toll Authority of Jamaica. Requests must include date of travel, organization name and authorized contact person, name, position, telephone and email, vehicle make, model and license plate numbers, driver's full name and license number, toll corridors to be utilized, destination or affected communities being served, details of any accompanying security escort, vehicle, license plate and driver. Send requests to toll.authority@mtw.gov.jm, jerome.palmer@mtw.gov.jm, or by phone at 876-929-5119 or 876-929-6393. Approvals will be processed within 9 hours or less. Together, we're ensuring a faster, safer recovery for all Jamaicans.
Good day, I'm Twyla Whelan and this is your JS News for Wednesday, November 12, 2025. The agriculture sector has suffered a massive blow of an estimated $29.5 billion in damage from Hurricane Melissa. Portfolio Minister Floyd Green made the revelation in the House of Representatives on Tuesday. He revealed that domestic crops suffered losses of $8.8 billion, banana and plantain $2.9 billion, fruit trees $337 million, tuber crops $4.5 billion, and coffee around $800 million.
Our most productive agricultural zones have taken the hardest hit, which also includes parts of St. Anne and parts of Clarendon. Our preliminary assessment, conducted in collaboration with RADA, NFA, NIC, Banana Board, and our other agencies, revealed approximately 41,390 hectares of farmland has been affected, impacting over 70,000 farmers, with a loss of over 1.2 million animals, including small ruminants.
In response, Minister Green says the country will have to tap into external sources and import select fruits and vegetables over the next 2 months to stabilize supply and protect household food security. This will cover tomato, lettuce, cabbage, sweet pepper, carrot, and papaya. These were chosen for their dietary importance, low stock levels, and projected supply gaps. The ministry will also facilitate the immediate importation of table eggs to fill any shortfalls and help stabilize availability.
The damage is extensive and heart-wrenching. Yet in this ruin, our farmers and fishers are hopeful and eager to start again. We will ensure that they can go again.
Meanwhile, the government has reactivated the Agricultural Disaster Recovery Task Force to spearhead national efforts to rebuild the farming sector. Minister Floyd Green unveiled a multi-billion-dollar recovery plan to help farmers restart production during his statement to Parliament on Tuesday.
We've had outreach from ICA, who have pledged an initial support of US $30,000, and the United Way, who today launched their Restoration and Rehabilitation Fund for Agriculture, of which the first donor was our 100-meter world champion, Oblique Seville, who gave $500,000 towards the rebuilding effort for agriculture.
Minister Green says the recovery of the sector will require an all-hands-on-deck approach, with work already underway.
An immediate allocation of $450 million from the remaining production incentive program is being redirected to emergency recovery, including replanting, restocking, and land preparation. This is part of a larger $3 billion plan, the full details of which I will outline in subsequent updates.
Additionally, $40 million worth of seeds will be distributed this week through RADA, while another $80 million has been allocated for emergency procurement. These are in addition to $50 million for seeds and $30 million for agrochemicals. To boost production quickly, RADA's tractor service will offer free land preparation for 6 months, and all seeds and planting materials from Bodles and RADA nurseries will be free for the next 3 months. Minister Green says early replanting will focus on less affected areas, especially eastern Jamaica and the agro-parks, to quickly restore food supply. The Ministry of Health and Wellness has developed a 3-phase health response program to address the impact of Hurricane Melissa. Portfolio Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says all components of Phase 1 have already been mobilized. In a statement to Parliament on Tuesday, he explained that Phase 1 involved providing relief, restoring health services, saving lives, and preventing diseases.
As part of our overall strategy, Phase 1 requires us to implement 5 components. One is the rapid assessment to all health facilities. Secondly, the repair and mobilization of health infrastructure to restore services. Thirdly, our mass environmental health mitigation actions. And fourth, psychosocial and mental health interventions to the population impacted, both staff and citizens, and our staff welfare action.
Dr. Tufton further asserts that the ministry, in collaboration with partners at PAHO and UNICEF and support from the National Health Fund, has completed 40% of the national assessment component of the program. He also advises that Phase 1 of the program will take place over 3 months, followed by Phase 2, which is aimed at re-establishing all health services to pre-hurricane levels. Phase 3 will then focus on reconstruction as the country rebuilds disaster-resilient infrastructure. The development of a disaster relief management system is in the final phase of testing and is expected to roll out across all ODPEM warehouses this week. Director General of the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, Commander Alvin Gale, says the system will aid in the agency's accountability framework.
The ODPEM continues to direct and coordinate efforts among government agencies, local authorities, the private sector, and international partners to ensure that the aid is equitably distributed in an efficiently coordinated process, thereby preventing wastage, leakage, or diversion.
Commander Gale, who was addressing a press briefing at Jamaica House yesterday, disclosed that to date, over 80,000 care packages have been delivered through the national system and just over 500,000 meals. He says 190 flight hours have been utilized to deliver over 60 relief supply drops.
To date, locally and overseas combined, just over 14,000 donors have inputted cash through our systems, with just over $400 million in those systems. The ODPEM, on behalf of the government of Jamaica, has also received into our stores just over $500 million worth of aid, with an over 80% rate of distribution for the relief items.
Commander Gale says more items will be pushed out from those stores as they move further into the recovery and restoration phases. In the meantime, ODPEM has commenced the publishing of a list of marooned and priority communities. The agency will also be publishing planned relief supplies to synchronize national efforts across the island. Director General Commander Alvin Gale says 2 communities, Petersville in Westmoreland and Duckets in St. James, remain marooned.
To be clear, marooned communities refer only to communities that are completely cut off and solely accessible by air, where no road, be it double or single access, is available. These communities can only be reached by air.
Rising waters continue to impact communities such as Content, Comfort and Evergreen in Manchester, as well as Brighton in St. Elizabeth. According to the latest update from ODPEM, over 182 communities felt the wrath of Hurricane Melissa, with majority being in western Jamaica. 130 buildings sustained damage, with 30,000 households displaced. Up to news time, 88 shelters remained open across 9 parishes, hosting approximately 1,100 persons.
While some persons have remained home, many continue to rely on the shelters as we work to restore access and provide restoration to damaged homes. I'm happy to report, however, that we are in touch with more than 90% of the shelters in Western Jamaica.
Still on shelter, the government is exploring temporary housing solutions for persons that will provide more dignified accommodations than the emergency shelters. Information Minister Senator Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon says the temporary solution is until permanent rehousing is established. Figures last week showed that over 116,000 housing structures concentrated in Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth and Manchester sustained severe or catastrophic damage as a result of the hurricane.
So as we're doing these discussions in Cabinet, we are looking at something that is good for people, not just, throwing up something for individuals to go. And so those conversations are ongoing. We've already gotten some quotations in terms of what different options there are around the world. We're getting some international support in terms of what has worked, what has been used elsewhere. And so we're working through that. We do have Cabinet continuing on Thursday and Friday, and so we will be looking at that and getting more information to you on the temporary housing solutions.
The official death count from Hurricane Melissa has risen to 45. 15 persons are still missing, 9 deaths are under investigation, and 33 post-mortems have been conducted. The information was shared by Minister Dana Morris-Dixon on Tuesday.
Those are 45 families that are hurting deeply, really, really hurting. And so as we look at that number, we pray for those families. We pray that God will comfort them. It's a hard time. It's a hard time to deal with the death of a family member, plus be dealing with the aftermath of a hurricane. And so I ask all of Jamaica to please pray for these families as they traverse this very, very, very difficult time.
The highest number of deaths were recorded in St. Elizabeth, with 18 fatalities, followed by Westmoreland with 15. 6 deaths occurred in St. James, 2 each in Hanover and Trelawney, and 1 each in St. Anne and Portland. The nation will be engaged in 2 national days of prayer on Saturday, November 15 and Sunday, November 16.
And this came out of a meeting with religious leaders where a national religious and faith-based hurricane task force was set up. We're a praying country, and we know prayer works. And so this was very important, and you'll get some more details on the National Days of Prayer that will happen this weekend from Minister Grange.
And finally, donors, donations and volunteers are increasing as support continues to pour in for Jamaica. The latest update shows that credit card donations to the government supportjamaica.gov.jm platform reached a little over $1 million and 53.2 million Jamaican dollars.
There are donations that come in directly to the account, and so at our next briefing on Thursday, I'll be able to give you the total that has come in via direct deposit to the accounts. What I've given you is just for the credit card transactions.
In addition, 3,921 volunteers and over 170 small and large donors are registered on the relief portal. The Information Minister says these donors have brought relief items onto the island with the support of the government.
In addition to that, we have 40 bilateral partners. That means 40 countries have provided aid to Jamaica, and we are so grateful to every single country, every bilateral partner, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade has been doing a tremendous job coordinating all of that. 31 of them have already sent through their contributions. The other ones we're working to expedite those contributions.
The volunteers will be engaged for the Clean Up Jamaica exercise, which was approved by Cabinet on Monday. The date will be announced shortly. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Twyla Whelan. Thanks for watching.
The Statistical Institute of Jamaica Statin will be conducting the 2025 Jamaica Survey of Living Conditions JSLC starting August 2025. For over 30 years, PIOJ analysis of JSLC data has helped to shape national policy, including on education, healthcare, and social support. When the JSLC team visits your home, participate. Your voice helps guide real solutions. For more information, visit statinja.gov.jm or WhatsApp Statin at 876-569-1083.
An extraordinary storm requires extraordinary measures. Up next, we revisit the Prime Minister's statement to Parliament on November 4, where he outlined changes to the disaster management architecture to ensure relief reaches Jamaicans faster.
The Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, is the central agency for the government's disaster response. They work with all the critical agencies across government, the private sector, international aid agencies, and multiple governments. It is, however, clear that the response to Hurricane Melissa will require significant logistics experience. It will also require significant coordination. The Jamaica Defence Force is currently assisting with the logistics support to both ODPEM and the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, especially given the fact that many communities are situated in difficult terrain and several have been marooned. Given the nature of the response needed for the current relief effort and the coming reconstruction effort, it is important that ODPEM and the JDF have even greater levels of collaboration. As such, effective immediately, the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, is reassigned to the Office of the Prime Minister to strengthen logistical collaboration with the Jamaica Defence Force. The Jamaica Defence Force is already under the Office of the Prime Minister. This move will ensure that the relief effort is well coordinated and coordinated across government. The best place to achieve that, given the nature of the crisis and the speed with which we want the recovery, is for it to be centrally positioned in the Office of the Prime Minister, which is what the Office of the Prime Minister does. It coordinates all the entities. This realignment establishes virtually a single point for emergency logistics and further tightens coordination with relief partners. This is about speed. The new arrangement will accelerate the distribution of relief supplies in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, better serve the most affected communities, and restore normalcy as quickly as possible. I encourage Jamaicans and our friends all over the world to give. Support jamaica.gov.jm. All contributions go centrally to ODPEM, which is the government's official disaster management agency. But we are going to modify the platform to ensure that it is more seamless, that you can visibly see how to designate to an institution. The intention is not to take away the donations from private entities. What we are saying is, if you want to get the benefit of the reduced or waived duty, then you should send it ODPEM/whatever. And once it is recorded as a donation, ODPEM records it, then you benefit from the waiver. And if you give funds, as we have said now, we will be able to direct it. We're going to make it specific on the platform so that you can direct it. But once you bring your stuff in, even if you put it under the name ODPEM, it's yours. You can take it and do whatever you want to do with it. But it is important that the nation has a full account of everything that came in. That's all that ODPEM is doing. One of the things we don't want to happen is any fumbling. So logistics and coordination is absolutely important. And what we will create is a plug and play system. Government can't do it all. We are the first to recognize that. At the end of the day, the people who are giving to Jamaica must say it was worth giving and I will give more. At the end of the day, they must say I am satisfied that my efforts achieve something and I can see it visibly because it was not interfered with by bureaucracy, lack of coordination, territorialism, or corruption. So we are going to make sure that we display to the world a first-class relief and recovery and rebuilding operation. This is a crisis, and it is one thing that we must never do, is waste a crisis. The other word for crisis is opportunity. And this is an opportunity to make Jamaica stronger. And I know that with unity, togetherness, genuine unity and togetherness, Jamaica will recover and recover stronger.
Hydrography plays a vital role in keeping our seas safe and our shores protected. It's a science beneath the surface, but its impact is felt all around us.
Hydrography is the art, science and technology surrounding the surveying of or the data collection of water bodies as well as the surrounding coastal features. So this includes, depth measurements, information in the water column as well as some shoreline data collection as well.
But why is it so important for Jamaica?
Hydrographic in surveying provides the data which is required for resource management and conservation. It supports safety in seafaring and efficiency in transportation using the modality of the sea. It provides the information required to develop our coastal infrastructure, and it helps us in the delimitation of our territorial boundary, which is critical to our resource management and conservation.
Thinking about the fact that 90% of global trade happens via the sea, it's very important that we have our charts up to date with accurate depths and representation of different features that may exist on the seafloor, so that mariners who are entering our ports are entering so in the safest manner possible.
From disaster preparedness to trade protection, hydrography plays a key role in national development and regional resilience.
So our typical day starts early so that we can maximize the usage of the waters. When it's late and more windy, we have more undulating waves. Thereafter, we would have to check the tide gauge if it's still collecting data. We would do the RTK setup for the base and rover for position collection. We would start the boat and ensure that we have all powers ready for collecting sonar data.
The multi-beam echo sounder system, it creates a map. It helps to create a map of the seafloor by sending sound beams down to the seafloor and back up to the multi-beam echo sounder, which is in turn translated onto our acquisition laptop, which we interpret to process that data. The multi-beam echo sounder, it determines depth and also features such as navigational hazards, such as rocks, silt, sand, shipwrecks.
Once the seafloor is mapped, that data is turned into nautical charts, guides that are essential to safe and efficient marine travel.
So we use industry-grade hydrographic surveying softwares such as WatchJIS Pro and CARIS, and collecting all of that data, I'd use the various softwares to then compile each data set to then create the chart. It's a very strict way in which we go about doing charting, because when you think about navigating on water, it's not that you're going to see a pothole just in front of you. The sea might look calm and there's a rock under there, there may be another wreck under there. So we have to make sure that when we are putting the chart together, we're detailed and ensuring that safety comes first, and that the person who's going to sit down and actually read this chart understands.
After the Hurricane Beryl, a vessel was going over to CMU, and it sank in the harbor. We were called upon, we responded within a 12-hour period. We found the sunken vessel within 3 hours, and we notified all the mariners coming into the harbor. That posed a risk to the ships coming in because there has never been a maritime accident in Jamaica. That's because of outdated data. The climate change, as you know, is an emergency for us. We are expanding our capacity by constantly training officers, constantly acquiring new equipment. So we want to broaden that reach of sustainable technology, which is going to be educated by hydrographic data. We want to set up this type of data can influence the implementation of early warning systems, etc. And our ambition is to firstly map our territorial waters to influence climate action in our region.
From high-tech sonar to hand-drawn charts, hydrography isn't just about maps, it's about safety, science, and national progress. Calling all creative entrepreneurs impacted by Hurricane Melissa. In a joint effort by Kingston Creative, Tribe 9 Studios and F&B Downtown, 1 month of free co-working space is being offered to creatives who have been affected by the hurricane. From Mondays through to Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., utilize this space located at 107 Harbour Street in downtown Kingston. In addition to the space being free to utilize, it also has free internet access. Feel free to visit in person or sign up to use the space with a link provided. Take advantage of this supportive space as you rebuild, reconnect, and reignite your creative journey. Let's all rise together and keep the spirit of creativity alive.
If you don't have any business in the western end of the island, please do not go. The traffic pileup is actually creating a risk to persons' lives. Our inability to efficiently transport relief supplies to the region because of persons coming out of their vehicle and sightseeing and doing selfies, as we saw over the last several days, is creating a significant traffic pileup. And if there is blockage in, let's say, Holland Bamboo, then the relief trucks cannot come out.
During the passage of Hurricane Melissa, many Jamaicans were affected, some more than others. As the authorities do what is necessary to bring relief to those who need it most, let us consider the feelings of our brothers and sisters as we traverse this difficult time. The selfies can wait.
We're at the end of today's show, but be sure to join us again tomorrow for another lineup geared towards providing you with information on the government's policies and initiatives for building a better Jamaica. You may visit our website, jis.gov.jm, to rewatch this show or to catch up on the others we have on the site. I'm Jabertha Atkinson telling you thanks for watching from our production team here at the JIS.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.